Hey buddies, it's your girl AyChristene, and today we are checking out Illymation. This is my summer as an after-school teacher. That is so freaking awesome. I wanted to be a teacher for most of my life until my senior year of high school. Even in senior year, I wanted to be a teacher, just not a math teacher. I wanted to be a Spanish teacher, but I always loved teaching from when I was a kid. I would pretend teach my siblings, like the American history. Don't worry about that. Anyways, I'm excited for the story because as someone who always wanted to be a teacher, I cannot wait to hear what her story was like. It could be awesome. It could also be a nightmare because my brother was a substitute teacher and he said that the kids made him hate life. They were horrible, he said. They were evil. But anyways, link for this video is in the description box below for you to check out. Now let's get started.
All right, everyone. This is Miss Alyssa. She's a new teacher and she'll be watching you guys this summer.
Hi, Miss Alyssa.
Oh, I like the was that Naruto in the back?
Miss Alyssa.
A Naruto character.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
Oh, so you're almost an adult.
Oh dear. Wow.
As you guys know, I have a cat named Luigi. And
Yeah.
as you also know, my parents said, all right, you can get a cat, but we can't help you pay for it. So to make that fat cat money, I worked at an after-school program for kids K through 5. I
Okay.
actually went there too when I was their age. And when I got older, the supervisor, so my former teacher, asked if I would like to work there. I'll
that's
call
nice.
her Miss Sheriff. 'Cause
Okay.
boy, did she run a strict town. But guys,
okay.
in all honesty,
Oh, you
this
see the
was my
Pokemon?
favorite job. No other
All
job
right.
will you wake up before the sun, walk into a workplace where a million little voices cheer your name, and everyone comes and gives you a hug at 7 in the morning. Every morning. Okay, maybe Disneyland. But I've never worked at Disneyland because I'm not tall enough to be anything more than a chipmunk. Anyway, I
how
think
tall
as
are
adults,
you?
we
'Cause
become
I'm
so
super
wrapped
short.
up in our stressful adult lives that we forget what it was like to be a kid. We forget that we once were a kid.
Yes.
But before I tell you these stories, quick important disclaimer. To
The
protect
dancing
names,
cat.
identities, and privacy, I'll be using fake names for everyone. And their character designs will not represent what they look like in real life. So,
Okay.
let's start with Delaney. All right, if Delaney was a food, she'd be Fun Dip. Super
Okay.
sweet and 100% made of sugar. The way she introduced herself to me was, "Hi, my name is Delaney. I have 2 loose teeth. My favorite color is yellow because it's bright and happy and wonderful like the sun." She was just a ball of happiness
so
and
cute.
optimism like I've never witnessed before.
So
and
cute.
I hope she never loses that.
Aw.
Another memorable kid I'll call Devin. He loved all things sports and being active outside.
Okay.
But he was also really caring and genuine.
Aw.
See, one day while I was getting snacks ready, this little dude stomped and stormed in. Did
Okay.
not pass the snack table, did not collect the Cheez-Its. And that's how I knew something was up.
Yeah.
So I sat down with him, but before I could get a word in, he turned to me and said, "Do you know what the most evil thing in the world is?" And I'm thinking, oh, Devin, I know a million horrible things about the world.
Right.
So what on God's green earth did you find out today?
Right.
But you know, out loud I said, "No, tell me.
I
What
like
is the
that
most evil thing in
transition.
the world?" And he says, "Plastic." And he goes off about
What?
littering, landfills, fossil fuels,
wow.
acid rain, CO2 emissions, our
wow.
carbon footprint. This
Wow.
little dude just learned about pollution, and he was fuming. And I love that for him.
That is so
You know,
cute.
there are people my age
That
who
is
think
so
global
cute.
warming is a myth.
Right.
So I'm here to assure you guys the
People.
kids are all right. However,
They
this
can
job,
be.
like any job, has its downsides. Well, just one downside.
Okay.
Customer service. And
Oh.
by that I mean
Parents.
dealing with dissatisfied parents.
Yep. Okay.
This last story is about a kid I'll call Bo. During
Okay.
my first few shifts, I noticed Bo really liked to play pretend with, how do I say this?
Oh.
Water. Guns.
Oh,
This
okay.
was the only thing he wanted to play. If some
Okay.
kids were playing dinosaurs, he'd find a way to make them go extinct early. If some kids
Oh,
were playing
okay.
house or shops, he'd be the bad guy robbing and threatening them. This was the only way he wanted to play pretend
Oh,
for
dear.
hours,
Oh,
day
dear.
after day. And this kid was like 6,
Right?
and his preferred pretend play was very graphic and explicit.
Mm.
You know, for
Murder.
a first grader. But
Right.
I mean, it was also the South, and I wasn't raised in a gun-toting household, so
Okay.
I figured maybe I was just the weird one here. So I told my supervisor, hey,
I don't think so.
that little boy Bo really likes to play guns. Should I be concerned? And she looked at me like, oh, he knows better.
Oh, okay.
So apparently, this was such a known bad pattern of behavior that it was agreed playing guns was instant timeout with Miss
Oh,
Sheriff.
he knew
And
it.
That was huge because that's super timeout. You go to the big kid room and sit
Okay.
with the big kid teacher in big kid timeout. That's basically jail for a kid.
Yes.
But, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
Credit
Yeah,
where
yeah.
credit is due. Kids are smart. This little dude figured I didn't know, and boy, was I played like a fiddle.
Dear
so the next
word.
day, as soon as I saw him pick up the big block and pretend it was an R2D2 47 or something, I said, Bo, could
I
you
like that she changed changed the names instead of AR. It's R2D2.
come with me? We need to go talk to Miss Sheriff. And I swear to goodness, the look on this kid's face said it
I
all.
see the All
How
Might.
did she know? Like, come on, little dude. We knew this wouldn't last forever.
Right.
Later, his mom enters the story, and I'll call her Karen.
Ah.
That's not her real name.
Uh-huh.
I never got her real name.
But
I
I'm
think
sure.
this one fits.
Right?
So
Let's
Karen
see.
saunters into my K through 2 room, Bo in tow. She's clearly already come into the building and broke her child out of big kid timeout.
Right.
So I was like, oh, can I help you? And she says, yes. Why was my son in timeout? Oh, well, I may be new here, but I've been caught up with his behavioral history. And what do you mean by that? Well, Bo likes to use blocks and other things and pretend they're guns and then pretend that he's killing his friends.
Right.
And
That
we
is
don't
not
allow
nice.
that kind of pretend.
Right.
Well,
We
why
don't.
not? It's just pretend. It's not real.
I wish a ninja would. Okay? I wish you would. Be like, oh, why not? To pretend to kill. I wish listen. Y'all see clips, like little bits of me in the chat when there's disrespect happening in the chat, right? Imagine if it was my child. If I was taking my daughter to daycare, right? And it turned out that there was a kid there that liked to play guns and pretend shoot my child. And the thing is, if they addressed it, right, and they said, hey, we put him in timeout, and then the other parent's like, well, it's just pretend. Well, how about I get one, right? And I pretend to aim it at you. How would you feel then? Don't play that ish with my child. And the thing is, you act like it's the only way to play. If I'm telling you, hey, I don't feel comfortable with your child pretend playing guns and pretend shooting at my child. Let's find a different way to play. Your answer should be, all right, let's find a different way to play. If you're like, well, it's just pretend, let's keep it going. No. That's what the mindset of people who have the what's it called? The privilege, right? That they feel like, okay, it's not a big deal. I'm going to let it pass. And you keep letting ish pass till it's a problem. And when that on the other end of the problem is my child, no, bro, we ain't doing that. Bro, we ain't doing that in here. No. Okay. Talking about it's just pretend. I hate when people like, oh, they did something that they shouldn't do. We're addressing it. Them putting the child in timeout is not harming the child. They have spoken to, and that's the thing. They took proper steps. They spoke to the child first and was like, bruh, don't do this. Child didn't listen. So they put them in timeout where they just sit down. They don't get beat. They don't get slapped. They don't get smacked. They just sit down. You don't want to play right? You can just sit down in this corner. That's all they did. And you want to come, ba-boo bye. Ba-boo bye. That's what I got to say to her. If I worked there, but I don't.
Because that's very inappropriate for
Thank
a
you.
6-year-old?
Thank you.
Why? What's wrong with guns?
It's the act of
Man,
pretending.
this is a child. That's not
Right.
exactly
Thank
what
you.
I said, but it didn't matter anyway. She proceeded to chew me out about her Second Amendment rights and how people like me are the reason that guns are being taken away.
Oh my goodness, you are a freaking idiot. I hate that ish when the comment is, hey, we should maybe control like that, like gun control. Okay, we're gonna talk about it. If people are like, hey, at conventions, right, there should be a proper licensing that should be done. Or hey, maybe not give them to 18-year-olds. Then like, it's people like you that are having guns taken away. Nobody's freaking taking away no guns. All we're saying is, hey, this 18-year-old probably shouldn't have a gun. If you like how there's someone made the statement, you can get a gun before you can drink. There is a difference in harm that can be done. If you're sitting at home and you take a drink, the difference in harm is less than if you were at home and you're playing with the gun. How does that make sense? The other thing is, it's like anytime you're like, hey, let's moderate or change, you don't even say take them away. You're like, hey, let's make sure there's there's background checks so that they're not in the wrong hands of people. Or like, hey, let's make sure there's a mental health check to make sure that people don't harm themselves or others. Then it's like, it's people like you who's trying to take away my guns. How dare you? I almost said that. Bye boo bye. Bye boo bye. I do not like this lady.
For people like her, and it is a shame that people like me are watching kids like hers. And right at the height of this monologue, Miss Sheriff strolls in, and without skipping a beat, Karen says, "So that is why my kids should." Oh, there you are, Miss Sheriff. Oh, Alyssa here was just telling us how Bo was playing guns again. And while they talked, I just stood there, dumbfounded by this woman's behavior. And it's times like this, I feel really bad for some kids and their households.
Yeah.
I was confused by this. And I was 19, almost an adult. I can't imagine how confusing this could be for a 6-year-old.
Right.
So once she left for good, I turned to my supervisor and said, "You know what she just did?" And my supervisor said, "What did she do?" She was just berating me for sending Bo to
that
timeout for
chick
playing
is a
guns
heifer.
going off about why
That
you should
chick
be able
is
to
a
play
heifer.
guns. But as soon as you walked in, she
Yes.
No. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what working with kids was like. Thank you for watching. Hit like if you liked it. Hit subscribe to see more. Don't play pretend guns or I will send you to timeout. And as always, stay safe.
I like that. I like that ending there. I like, it does suck, like, dealing with some parents. I like, especially when they're like that. Like, this chick knew, okay? She freaking knew, all right? That's why she flipped the script when the sheriff came in. She flipped the whole script. That chick freaking knew. Bye boo bye. That's what I got to say to her. Let me know your thoughts, because I mean, I shared my thoughts during this video. So if you have any questions about how I feel, just rewatch the video. I will say that I think that in this situation, Illy did a good job of, you know, keeping calm and kind of like, I know she was confused, so she was more like, okay, what's going on? I am happy that for the most part, every morning when she woke up and entered this place, that she was greeted with hugs from little kids cheering your name. I can imagine the love. I know how I feel when just my daughter will be like, "Mommy," like if me and my husband go like to the bank or something and she's here with her grandmother and we come in the door, she's like, "Mommy, Daddy, Mommy, Daddy, Mommy," and she says that, and then she'll come to us and give us a hug, and I'll kiss her cheeks like 1,000 times because she has the most kissable freaking cheeks in the world. So to have like a group of kids, you come in and they cheer, "Alyssa," and then they hug you, that would fill my morning with like severe amounts of joy. I think it would cure like my anxiety and depression that I get. It's a healing thing. It's a healing thing. So that's really awesome. And I'm happy that was more so the case of her job. But I already said how I felt about that mother and dealing with the situation with Karen. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. If you like that video, check out the link in the description box below to support everyone involved in making the video. If you like this video, hug the like button. I love you guys as always. And until next time, buddies. Toodles.